everybody, what's up, and welcome back to the garden slash my car, because that's where I am recording this audio. So I'm actually on a break at work right now, and I needed to get audio for some videos done because I am so far behind. So if you hear a little bit of noise like sirens or my heater going, it's cold out here, and that's what that noise is. So I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. You gotta do what you gotta do. Today, in this video, I am talking about the large-scale winter sowing operation that I am doing in the backyard. And I do apologize for this video. I just have a couple clips that I took quickly before I started actually winter sowing. So the same clips are just going to repeat over and over again. I am sorry for that. But this video needed to be made, but I didn't have the time to actually make it the way it should. Maybe if it does really well in the future, I will remake it and make a awesome, great, better version of it. But for now, this is all I have. Getting right into this. So winter sowing method, you use milk jugs and 2-liter bottles and things to sow seeds, and you set them outside. They come up. It's amazing. You can start tons and tons of seeds without any kind of prior experience. You can start the seeds without grow lights, and then spring rolls around, the time of last frost comes, and it's great. You're ready to transplant, and you've done hardly any work. All the seeds have been started outside. It was really a game changer for me because, I don't have any grow lights. I'm on a small budget. I don't know what to do. I want to have a beautiful garden, but winter sowing was the game changer for me. But the problem is, for me, last year I had about 300 winter sowing containers outside, and I was just like, oh man, this is a giant mess. My backyard looks like a garbage hole. At one point, I couldn't even walk on my back sidewalk because there were just milk jugs everywhere. And I'm not complaining because obviously the milk jugs were full of plants, but at the same time, I was drowning in milk jugs. Oh man, this stuff is everywhere. It looks like crap out here. Let's just be honest with each other. So with this year, with plans to try to expand the garden even more, I know, crazy, right? It's not like I even had space last year for anything. I don't know why I'm thinking about expanding the garden and making it bigger, but whatever. We'll deal with that problem when we get to it. I wanted to add more stuff, so I knew that sowing seeds in milk jugs was not going to be an option this year because I wanted to grow bigger than just, a couple milk jugs of each thing. So I have the solution of building a low tunnel. So to build this low tunnel, the first thing I'm going to need is a hoop bender. I have this hoop bender that I use for all my low tunnels. The hoop bender is from, I think, Johnny's Seeds. It was like $50. I got it on sale, I think. It might have been a little bit cheaper than that. Basically, all the hoop bender does is you take these 1/2-inch metal conduit lengths, I think they're 10 foot in length, and it allows you to bend them into these arches. These arches then stick in the ground. We cover them with either plastic or a row cover or something like that, and voila, we've got hoops. It's great. If you plan on making tons and tons of hoops, it's very cost effective. If you're not going to make tons and tons of hoops, I'm sure you can do this exact same thing using maybe lengths of PVC or something like that. Again, I don't have experience in that, so I don't know what would work, but I'm sure there is a workaround for you if you are on a cheaper budget than, if you don't want to make that investment. I went ahead and made the investment in it because I know I'm going to need a hoop bender eventually if I ever get a farm. Emphasis on if I ever get a farm, but whatever. That's for another video. Anyway, what I have done is I've bent these hoops, and you'll notice that my black landscape fabric is laying there on the ground. The main reason for this, I just spread that landscape fabric out flat on the ground first and kind of doubled it up to make sure that none of my trays would be in contact with the soil. The main reason for this is that this little low tunnel is south facing, and it is in a portion of my yard that does not drain. It's basically, the soil level is the water table essentially in this area of my yard. In fact, it is so bad that I consistently can walk out in the yard at any time, and there are crawfish crawling around my yard, like, you know, little lobsters. They're not lobsters, I'm just joking, but, you know, there's crawfish out there. And you can't plant anything there. It's just a big, huge, unusable space, which is frustrating. I've tried to amend it, I've tried to build it up, but it's just not a thing. Anyway, so what I've done, I've decided to try to utilize this space for seed starting. I laid out the black plastic flat across there, and then I put these hoops into the ground, made sure to stick them way down into the ground, and this is where I'm going to be putting the seed starting trays. In the coming videos, you'll see tons of videos of me starting my seeds and seed starting trays. I'm going to do the exact same process that I did last year with the 2-liter bottles, starting all the 2-liter bottles. I'm going to do that exact same process this year again with the seed trays, so everyone can see exactly what I'm doing. I know some of these seed tray videos get redundant, but at the same time, a lot of people want to know what they're doing, and it's actually really helpful for me because, you know, in the future when I want to make some kind of intensive gardening video, I can come back and grab the clips out of there that I wanted, because I have so many video clips. I can't possibly store all the video clips on my computer. There's too many of them. Once I have sewed the seed trays, which like I said you'll see in later videos, all I'm going to do is I'm going to place them on the ground on top of this black plastic. Ideally, I'd love to have like a table or something to put this stuff on, but I don't, so it's going on the ground. I think the black plastic will keep any standing water from gathering, hopefully, and also I think it'll help to kind of keep the slugs and snails out of the seedlings, as long as, you know, there isn't that contact with the soil, because obviously slugs and snails and all kinds of things that eat seedlings could be a problem with this method. So it's be interesting to see how this goes. Once the seed trays have been put into this little tunnel, I am going to cover it with just a 6mm plastic, just normal opaque white plastic that I get from, you know, a home improvement store. I guess you could use plastic specifically designed for tunnels, but I don't have access to that. Number one, it's kind of expensive. Number two, I would have to special order it. I just can't find it here. So I am just using this cheap plastic from the hardware store. I think a 10 by 25 piece is like 20 bucks. 20 bucks is a little expensive, but you know, you get more than one use out of it, and I think it's worth it for large scale seed starting, because I mean the only alternative is grow lights. I think it's worth it. Anyhow, what I've done is I've stretched the plastic over these hoop houses, and then I've taken a little pair of scissors and just cut a few holes into the top of this plastic. Now, I should mention that this part of this is a total just, you know, shot in the dark for me, because I've never done this before. I've never seen anybody do this. This is me saying, well, winter sowing works really well. I don't see any reason why this wouldn't work. I'm going to give it a try and see how it goes. So I should mention that this whole process is trial and error. I don't know if the holes are necessary. For me, one of the main reasons putting holes in this is definitely so I won't have to open it. This plastic is secured into the ground using landscape fabric pins. So one of the main reasons I wanted to put holes in it is so that on warm, sunny days, it's not going to get too hot in there, because I do need a way to vent this and make sure that air is circulating in there. So this hoop house low tunnel winter sowing conglomeration has been in use for about 2 weeks now, and so far so good. All the seedlings and seed trays are staying nice and moist. I haven't had any kind of problems. It's rained several times. Moisture has gone into the hoop house through the holes. The only thing I see maybe happening is those holes that I cut causing the plastic to rip more. In that case, I think I might go back with maybe some duct tape or something and kind of make a little like rim around the holes that I made with duct tape to kind of just, you know, close it up and make it a little stronger, just in case the plastic should want to try to rip. Again, this is trial and error. This is me trying something new. Hopefully it will be an efficient way of starting our garden seeds. We can always just hope for the best. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments, or if you've tried something like this before in the future, because I was really just looking for an alternative method to, you know, the winter sowing method, because I can't have all these milk jugs out in the yard again. It's just too many of them. I hope that this video was somehow helpful. If it was, be sure to subscribe. I'd love to have you. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers eventually. I don't think we're ever going to get there. It's been kind of discouraging, I ain't going to lie. I hope y'all are having such an amazing day. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, guys.